Hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, September 25th, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Roundtable at seroundtable.com. First up, not feeling too well. My voice is a little bit low, so I apologize for that. Also, I'm offline Monday and Tuesday of this week, so I'll be hopefully scheduling if I feel up to it, several posts, hopefully good stuff, over the next few days. First up, John Mueller mentioned the Google Penguin algorithm this morning in a Google Hangout. He basically said he doesn't want to guess, but if he had to guess, the real-time version of the new Penguin algorithm will be released by the end of the year. Of course, there's things that could delay it. There's a lot of things that could delay it, but he said if he had to guess, he said it should be by the end of the year, but he doesn't want to guess. And again, Google was supposed to release this real-time Penguin algorithm last time. They never ended up doing that. So I guess they refreshed it instead, and the question is, I don't think they're going to go ahead and do that again. I think when they release the new Penguin algorithm, they won't release it until it's the real-time version. So I think that's where we're at. Sorry. So there's a lot of chatter, especially picking up right now, in the Webmaster forums, Webmaster World forums, around a possible Google update that's happening slowly and going throughout. We're not sure exactly what it is. It's not something that a lot of people are talking about, but there's definitely chatter going on around that possible update. Most of the automated tools that are checking the Google rankings and fluctuations don't show much change at all, but there's definitely a lot of people talking about this and stuff going on with Google Webmaster, Google search results. So hopefully over the weekend when I do schedule some posts, I'll see more evidence of something going on. I'll be able to write about it in more detail, but there's definitely something in the air, so I'll let you know if anything is going on with that in the near future. So I was pointed to a post in Google Plus where Andre from the Google Webmaster Search Quality team, who specializes in the Russian area, went ahead and talked about PageRank scoping around nofollow. So back in 2009, Matt Cutts said that if you have a page and you have 10 links on it, and 5 of them are nofollowed, he said the PageRank will flow to the ones that are followed, the 5 links that are nofollowed, but it will be divided by 1/10 each. The same question was asked to Andre, and Andre basically said they're no longer going to divide the PageRank by what the follow was, not nofollow. It's only going to go to the followed ones, and that was fairly interesting to see. And I'm not sure if he was 100% saying that because it was a Russian translation. So I asked Google about this. Google has yet to respond, but John Mueller was asked this question this morning on a Google Hangout, and John basically said it's not smart, or he didn't say it like that, but he basically said you shouldn't go ahead and take that conversation out of its context, out of the conversation, which I don't think I did. And he said you shouldn't use Google Translate to translate something like that and try to interpret that, which I did, and then I asked Google about it, which I didn't get a response on. But basically, John Mueller said ignore those types of questions. They're not important questions to ask, but at the same time, to be fair, Matt Cutts did address it in a very long, detailed blog post in 2009, and he thought it was important to address because he wrote about it in really long detail. And then we have somebody else in Google saying something several years later, saying it's not that case. So what is it? And I think it's a fair question to ask, and we still don't have an exact answer from Google yet. And I did email Google through proper channels to get an exact answer, and I'm still waiting to hear back. So just to be on the record about that. Google is beta testing a new feature in the Google Search Console around manual actions, specifically around hacked sites or partially hacked sites. So Google said you hopefully will no longer have to go ahead and submit a reconsideration request in the future for hacked sites if you go ahead and clean up the hack. So let's say you get a manual action, you clean up the hack you get a manual action for having a site that's hacked. You don't have to go ahead, well, in this beta, Google's going ahead and checking to see if your site's still hacked. If it's not still hacked, they might remove the manual action automatically without you having to do anything. So that's a pretty cool feature, and Google's said they're beta testing that. So last week we talked about how Google said that if you have repeated violations in the manual action side, over and over again you're violating Google's webmaster guidelines, Google may go ahead and apply, may make it harder for you to actually go ahead and submit a successful reconsideration request. Plus, they may take further action. This is what Google said. And former Googler, Pedro, went ahead and said that he felt the whole post was unnecessary. Why should you go ahead and cater a post directed at spammers? They don't have to know that. I mean, and honestly, I thought that that was always the case, that if you did repeated violations, Google would do that anyway. They just didn't communicate that. And that's what I think Pedro is saying. But also, Google typically would not post something like that without seeing a certain pattern. So that's what he's saying, and just keep that in context within that conversation. Google seems to have removed the rich snippets from the Facebook URLs. So if you do a search in Google and up comes Facebook results in Google, they used to have like ratings for local businesses, rich snippets, but now it's gone. So here you see it again. Old, new. No more rich snippets. We're not sure why they went away, but they seem to have been gone. Google AdWords announced this past week that they are dropping more refer data because of the HTTPS security protocol. They said, Google said the refer for many ad clicks will only contain the Google domain from which the click occurred, i.e. google.com or google.ca. They would no longer be communicating a specific path, such as google.com/ACLK or googleadservices.com/pagead_SSK. So again, that's more of a security thing that's happening. It's not going to affect most advertisers because they have ways of tagging that stuff and getting the data, but it's definitely a thing that Google has been doing for a while. Google Hotel Finder homepage no longer exists. If you try going to it, it would say, use Google search and we'll bring you those results as well. And part of that, after we posted that, Google announced that they're expanding their hotel ads, commission-based hotel ads, to more and smaller hotels. And with that announcement, they actually announced that they're dropping the hotel also the Hotel Finder homepage. And I'm sorry, I'm just really not feeling well. Google AdWords also launched a new AdWords extension called Dynamic Callout Extensions. These callout extensions will automatically highlight useful information about your businesses or products you offer in the extensions area of your ad. So there's a new AdWords extension that's automated, which is pretty cool. Finally, Google Analytics did a small update, didn't announce it, where they basically now, if you go to a specific day in your analytics chart, it's going to default to the hourly graph. When Google Analytics first launched their new Analytics UI, they would drop the hourly option. They added that back in now, but also they actually defaulted the hourly view when you're on the day view to the hourly, which makes a lot of sense. So you can see it here, and I'll show you the day view, the hourly chart showing you by hour when you're on the day view. In any event, that pretty much recaps the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz, and this is the search news we covered over the Searching Roundtable at SERoundtable.com over the past week. Again, I'm out Monday and Tuesday. Everyone have a great weekend, and today is September 25th, Friday. And I'll see you guys next. Bye.